Well, he played three different positions, and graded out at linebacker as well as any linebacker we had. Just some little technical things, not carrying receivers, far enough or deep enough, which what do you expect? I mean, you just have to do what you got to do to win the game. And, the hard thing is when you got three of your top four linebackers out, it can pose a little bit of a challenge. So hopefully we can get those guys back and continue to get better.
Do you feel that the absent linebackers maybe contributed to a pass rush effort that probably wasn't up to par?
I think probably the ball coming out quick may have had something more to do with it. And plus, if you really watch all 12 games of Texas Tech the year before, LSU had a very difficult time getting to the guy and getting him on the ground. Getting to him is one thing. Getting him on the ground, he's a big kid. He just has a knack. I said that a week ago in this press conference that he's a challenge because he knows when to get rid of the ball. And if you read his comments, we had him confused, and there was just some lack of execution on our part, there that give him some cheap ones.
How would you go about defensive coordinating against a guy like Caleb Elijah at another age? How would you try to stop him?
Oh boy, well, you better load the box. I mean, obviously, he's you got to get more in there than they can block. I can tell you that. And then, especially out of the Sparky formation, and you got to load it and just dare them to try to throw the football. But then you get into things like that where they got the quarterback still on the field where they can do some things with that as well. So it's definitely a challenge.
Why is it so hard to bring him down? Bring him to the ground?
Well, I mean, one, he's like 230 pounds. He's almost 6'4", and physically he's just, he's a specimen. So, and he's got great balance. He's just a very physical runner, and I think that's where I've seen him improve the most since he's been here.
How would you do it?
I'd try to go through his hip. We teach a rugby style tackle. That's what I would do, because if you watch, most missed tackles come from when guys try to stay up high and they get slung off of guys like that. You're not tackling him up high. But the other thing, if you go down to his feet, he has great feet. He's just going to move his feet. So you got to run through the hip and try to rugby style tackle him.
Keith, you've been doing this a long time. Have you ever come across a quarterback that hurdles players like that?
I asked him if he was a hurdler in high school, and he said no. But I've never seen that. I mean, he just, I'm not sure he has any. He might be completely made of cartilage. He's pretty limber, and but he's like Gumby. But he just makes it look so natural. I just, you hold your breath, hope somebody doesn't catch him in midair. I remember Tony Dorsett coming to Oklahoma one time in 1976. He tried to hurdle one of the Oklahoma Sooners, and a guy by the name of Scott Hill introduced himself to him. So probably Google that. One of them is extremely, he's a pretty good runner, brings some things to the table with the zone read, quarterback runs, and then, the other one, haven't really seen him enough to make a complete, evaluation on him. It seems like when he comes in a little bit, he's also a runner and maybe a little bit more accurate passer, but from what we've been able to tell the first two games.
What are some of the biggest differences in preparing for this as opposed to preparing for a team like Texas Tech?
Well, the thing in preparing for Texas Tech, I mean, they're just so multiple, and what you can't prepare for is the speed in which it comes at you. So, these guys are much more traditional. I mean, it's almost like watching a 2016 offense, and then when you come back and now you're watching UTSA, it's like you've gone back in time 10 years, just not being disrespectful, but just, it's a little bit more methodical, pro style, pro formation, twins formation, two-back structures, and then they'll spread the field. But the thing that's so different about, people like Tech, it's just the tempo. It's how fast they can get lined up, because they don't flip sides. They play right and left. So, man, they just have a system that is so unique, and it's a very difficult system, And I thought, you take the three plays where it just the walk-offs, man, that was the three that just makes you, you're just like, wow, what happened? And if we'd eliminate that, man, I'd have felt great, because we'd have held them 34 points, but that's what, just the challenge that it presents, man, because they do go fast, they do line up fast, they get that a lot of times. Just cheap throws that they throw it out there, guys uncovered, there you go.
So What do you feel the secondary did different in the second half to have more success?
I think we just kind of went back a little bit more to what we traditionally do. Just said, hey, let's just play, because obviously our kids were a little bit discombobulated, you know, with alignments and getting the communication and things like that. So we just said, hey, let's just go play, and we did, and they settled down. I think we had 5 3-and-outs, 3 takeaways, you know. And it's almost like there was no in between. It was like, oh man, we played like really, really good, and then just like, oh my goodness, they punched us right in the face.
How do you assess Ron Crump's first 2 weeks?
You know, it's, I think, and he'll tell you this, that it's just getting used to the speed of the game. Not only the players or the personnel, but the tempo in which offenses come at you with. And he's and we're going to do some things to try to help him and slow things down for him a little bit. But, you know, he's definitely a tremendous talent, and he definitely has a role on this football team. We just got to try to get it to where he feels like things are slowing down a little bit.